Good morning, students. Welcome to this session. Today's topic is degrees of comparison. This is an book exercise. First, we are going to see spelling rules for comparative and superlative degrees. It has three rules. Rule 1. To make the comparative form, we add the suffix er to the adjective in the positive form. To make the superlative form, we add the suffix est to the adjective in the positive form. For example, positive, comparative and superlative. First example is big, bigger, biggest, clever, cleverer, cleverest. For rule 1. Sweet. Few more examples for rule 1. Sweet, sweeter, sweetest. Young, younger, youngest. High, higher, highest. Old, older, oldest. White, whiter, whitest. Noble, nobler, noblest. Wise, wiser, wisest. Large, larger, largest. Safe, safer, safest. Fine, finer, finest. Easy, easier, easiest. Lovely, lovelier, loveliest. Happy, happier, happiest. Heavy, heavier, heaviest. Healthy, healthier, healthiest. Now rule 2. Some adjectives are irregular. Their comparative and superlative forms are different words. For example, positive, comparative, superlative. Bird, worse, worst. Good, better, best. Little, less, least. Bad, worse, worst. Badly, worse, worst. Far, this is distance. Farther, farthest. Far, further, furthest. Good, better, best. Ill, worse, worst. Late, later, later or latest. Little, less, least. Many, more, most. Much, more, most. Some, more, most. Well, better, best. Now, rule 3. For few adjective forms, their comparative forms by adding more or less before them and their superlative forms by adding most or least before them. Positive, comparative and superlative. Now here examples. Difficult, more difficult, most difficult. Useful, more useful, most useful. Few more examples. Faithful, more faithful, most faithful. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Industrious, more industrious, most industrious. Courageous, more courageous, most courageous. Active, more active, most active. Attractive, more attractive, most attractive. Brilliant, more brilliant, most brilliant. Careful, more careful, most careful. Cunning, more cunning, most cunning. Difficult, more difficult, most difficult. Famous, more famous, most famous. Proper, more proper, most proper. Popular, more popular, most popular. Splendid, more splendid, most splendid. Just now we have seen spelling rules for degrees of comparison. Now we are going to see degrees of comparison for adjectives and adverbs. While comparing people or things, we use 3 degrees of comparison. They are positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. The positive degree is to describe only one person or thing. For example, this is a big house. In this sentence, the adjective is big is used to describe the house and it is the positive degree. Next example, Ram runs fast. In this sentence, the word fast is the adverb as it modifies the verb runs and it is the positive degree. Second one is comparative degree. The comparative degree is used to draw a comparison between two people or a pair of objects. For example, this is a bigger house. The word bigger is the adjective that compares to more houses in their sizes. So, it is in comparative degree. For example, Sam runs faster than Ram. In this sentence, faster compares the speed of running between Ram and Sam. Remember, while comparing equal things, we use the positive degree of an adjective or an adverb. For example, Sudha is as wise as Madhu. Third one is superlative degree. Superlative degree is used to compare more than two people or object. Comparative degree is used to compare comparison between two people or a pair of object. But superlative degree is used to compare more than two people or objects. It is the highest degree of comparison. For example, this is the biggest house. Satyam runs the fastest of all. In most adjectives and adverbs, the comparative and superlative degree can be formed by adding er and est respectively to the positive degree. However, this is not always true. Here are few examples, that is happy, happier, happiest, lazy, lazier, laziest, far, farther, farthest, little, lesser, least, many, more, most, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful, difficult, more difficult, most difficult. Adjectives of parts of speech is the most important for degrees of comparison. Let's move in detail. The adjective. Degrees of comparison. As we have already seen, there are 3 degrees of adjectives: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. Example for positive: fast, great, old. Example for comparative: faster, greater, older. Example for superlative: fastest, greatest, oldest. A comparative adjective is used to make a comparison between two things. This comparison may show equality or inequality between the two things. To show an equal comparison, you need to use an adjective between the subordinate conjunction as. To show an equal comparison, use the form as. Word adjective has to come there, and then again we have to use as. For example, Julia is as tall as the bookshelf. The water is as cold as ice. The light shines as bright as the sun. The runner moves as fast as the wind. The apple is as red as a fire truck. The giraffe is as tall as the tree. That clock is as old as my grandfather. His voice was as loud as thunder. The truck was as big as a house. Your book bag is as heavy as a rock. The next one is comparison. Here, the conjunction is important. To use an unequal comparison, you need to use an adjective followed by the subordinate conjunction than. You may have to double the final consonant letter for some comparative adjectives. To show an unequal comparison, using an adjective with one syllable, you must add er to the ending. For example, this picture is prettier than the other one. My little brother is sillier than I am. This exercise is trickier than the last one. I am taller than the bookshelf. Rice is stickier than salad. Yuki was at school earlier than I was. My dog is faster than my cat. The soup is hotter than the milk. The rock is harder than the banana. Dennis is older than Kiki. A positive degree of adjective is used with one person or thing only. It is used when you don't make any comparison. For example, Rohan is a rich man. Mumbai is a big city. The next one is superlative degree. A superlative adjective is used to indicate that one thing has some features to a greater or lesser degree than all others in a given context. For example, if Bill is 45, Ted is 27 and Amai is 43, then Bill is the oldest in the group. To show an unequal comparison, you need to use an adjective followed by a preposition such as of, in, on, etc. It may also be followed by the noun in which it is the greater or lesser. It may also be followed by nothing else when the context is implicit. For superlative adjectives, With one syllable, add est to the ending. Adjective plus est. That is preposition. That building is the tallest in the neighborhood. Here, adjective plus est, then we have to add preposition next to the adjective. Anika has one features to a greater degree than all others. The Komodo dragon is the largest lizard in the world. Aunt Janet is the oldest. My bicycle is the nicest. Here Anika is the tallest of the three sisters. In this example, one thing. Then next one is Mount Delaney is the highest mountain peak in North America. Jones is always the earliest to work. Dogs are the friendliest animal on earth. That is the prettiest ring I have ever seen. The black mamo is the deadliest snake in the world. It is the costliest in North Carolina. Children, I hope you have understood the basic rules of degrees of comparison. Write all the example words and sentences which is shown in this video. Thank you.